Welcome back, Levelin Up Nation. It is your host and success strategist, Brigham.
I was able to become that person because I asked for the pressure. I prayed for the pressure. I get so stressed out and I couldn't really sleep. Now it's a place where I can't sleep because every single morning feels like Christmas morning. I have to force myself to go to bed because I'm so excited to keep living life.
Welcome back, Levelin Up Nation. It is your host and success strategist, Brigham Blackham. I have my mentor on today, Dr. Greg Kimble. I love this man. So grateful to have him on today. Now, here's one of the coolest things. Guys, you need to know leadership is about load bearing. We're going to be talking about load bearing leadership, what that means to actually have weight when you are a leader. And we have a cool acronym here, which are 4 amazing laws that all of this is based around: leverage, ownership, alignment, and distribution. And as we talk about these topics, we're going to go deep. We're going to have some really heart-to-heart conversations, share some great stories, and you do not want to miss this because every single second of this is going to be something that can transform your life if you'll actually take action on it. So let's welcome Dr. Greg Kimble to the Levelin Up podcast again. Yeah, there he is. What's up, brother?
I'm here. I'm here.
You're here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. And I had to match you today because
we did not talk about this. This was literally just how aligned we are. We were like, like normally I'd 100% be in purple, so we had to rock the purple headphones.
Right.
But something told me wear a green shirt today. Wear a green shirt today. So here I am.
This is it. We're in perfect alignment. I love it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to first start off with this idea of leverage. I know that you have such great dynamic leverage in your leadership abilities. You've got such an idea of what it takes to be the very best leader possible. And the reason that I even came up with this idea of load-bearing leadership was from our last Gamma retreat, of literally having the vests on us that we would pass when we couldn't handle it for that time anymore. So let's talk about leverage and this law of leverage, because you're so articulate when it comes to that. And let's dive into it.
Well, I think it's 2 things. You know, number one, a lot of people talk a lot about the idea of adversity. And I actually have a big problem with that because you know, you watch these movies online, whether it's the Pursuit of Happiness or the Americans love an underdog. We love the underdog. And I actually don't think that it is a situation to where we need adversity in our life. What we do need, though, is resistance. If you think about when we're working out, it's the resistance of pressing the rep. It's the resistance of pushing through. It's being able to take your life when the resistance comes and being able to turn your breakdown into a breakthrough. And so as we turn our breakdowns into a breakthrough, we need this idea of leverage. Now, the single biggest leverage that you're ever going to have is the leverage of a community. I know that if I'm having a bad day, regardless of what has happened, if I call Brigham, he's going to be there for me and he's going to meet me wherever I need to be. Now there's going to be times where if I called him and he was, you know, trying to just be like the super animated guy that he can, but it wasn't appropriate, he wouldn't always try to bring that. Sometimes it's just as much as like, I'm just going to sit with you and I need you to know I got your back. I'm going to sit with you. I need you to know that I'm here. I'm going to clap when you win. I'm going to give you an idea. Or you know, we have this mutual friend, Bernard Quisenbing, and he really wanted to take his health to the next level. And every single time I'd see a plate of fries in front of him, I'd comment like, bro, I thought you were serious about this. So he's leveraging his community and our relationship, and he is leveraging all of these things that are happening so that he can take himself to the next level. So the ultimate leverage that we have is a community. Now, in the infinity model that I've come up with, you've got your personal, you've got your professional, and you've got your vitality. Your community is the leverage that makes the other 3 pillars really be able to go light speed. And so the 2 things that I want to make sure that people know is you have to allow your community to be that accountability buddy, the standards that you're holding yourself to, and really be the leverage, the catalyst that's taking you to the next level. But then also understand that it doesn't have to be adversity.
Right.
Like when people are just like, oh my God, I used to, because I'm an R&B singer, and people used to say, man, you got to go through stuff before you can sing the blues. You got to have your heart broken before you can sing the blues. That's not true. You can just learn the song. Like, you don't actually have to get ripped to shred by the one that you love. So I'm here to tell people, recognize the times, the moments, the opportunities where you're running into and against resistance, and use it to like work out that muscle, like the resistance. You get on stage and it's just not happening. The people aren't getting it. Okay, I guess this is just one of those reps. This is just one of those. This is a drop set. I'm gonna keep firing them at you, and then I'll get off and I'll figure out what in the world. How did I misread that room? But you don't have to go through adversity. So if you hear those stories that are just like, they sound like movies, that's great for them, but you have your own movie inside of you, and allow yourself to explore yourself, and don't be in this comparative reality to where you think that just because this person went through this and, had a death in the family, and, in Salo's case, went through he was in the middle of the Aurora theater shoot, so we don't want to have to go through the adversity so that you have to think that, oh, well, I'm nothing because my family didn't get divorced and my parents were happily married.
Right.
Okay, talk about that. It's okay. You don't have to have the adversity of the broken home. There's so many areas that we have resistance in, and just use it to work out the muscle or whatever you're trying to do.
Beautiful. I absolutely agree with leveraging your community is more than just associating with people. It is making sure that you are around the right people and they raise their standards as you raise yours. I had such an interesting experience earlier on Sunday. I was going to church and I had someone reach out to me while he was in my backseat. I was driving him to church and he's like, hey, do you want some tobacco? And I was like, you don't know me very well, my friend.
No, you don't know me.
No, I don't do that. And someone that's brand new, getting his wheels greased, if you will, to start connecting with Jesus. And I was like, what? It all starts with who you associate with. Yep, and I'm 100%. So grateful for our Gamma men. Our Gamma group it's coming up so soon, guys. I'm so stoked. It's so
going to be
cool.
amazing. It's like when we were on the cruise, and we had met some people on the cruise, and then one of them was trying to tell me that you lied. And it's just like this random guy that we met on the cruise ship, and he's like, oh yeah, that guy, however he described you. Oh yeah, he was obviously lying about this. I'm like, okay, you should have literally picked anybody else. Like literally anybody else. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but right when you told me that Brigham was lying, you lost me, because you are the one who's immediately lying. I promise you, because I know your character, I know who you are, I know how you operate. And so it's just, I love the fact that that's your reputation. That's what precedes you, is just a man of irreproachable, just integrity, man. I just love how you operate. You're a great man. You really are.
I appreciate that, Greg. I love you too, man. I love you more since we're here.
Yeah, well played.
All right. Now, one of the things, there you go. One of the things that I love about this platform is I get to share quotes. Check this out. I was reading today in Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and this quote, like, boom, hit me in the chest. It resonated with me so much. So I'm going to read this for everybody. So, if architects want to strengthen a decrepit arch, they increase the load which is laid upon it, for thereby the parts are joined more firmly together. I was like,
oh, that's good.
That's good. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
It reminds me of a quote from Jim Rohn. He says, don't wish the load were lighter, wish you were stronger.
Bars.
And that, yeah. And that's what it's all about. I want the best. So like one of my mentors, Tim Story, who I think is one of the absolute greatest of all time speakers. I really believe this. Anytime I was on an event with him, anytime, because people do not want to follow this guy because he straight up brings the heat. I was the one who asked I said, if you're going to put me anywhere, you put me right after him. Because I want him to take the crowd to the freaking stratosphere. And then I want to be the guy with the burden to bear to either keep it there or take it to the next level. I want that responsibility. I want that opportunity to become that person. And I had, in a very humbling experience, Tim's story after we were at Man in the Arena, he says, hey, are you going back to the hotel? We were staying at the Grand America. And I said, yeah. He goes, can I ride with you? I said, absolutely. So I kicked everyone out of my car because I want some alone time with Tim's story. So we're driving, and we actually do this like 12-minute podcast that I'm going to post. And the biggest thing that he talks about is he says, every single time you were here, like if this is Tim, I'm here. He goes, you were here, you were running support. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're at the level. Boom, you're at the level. Boom, you're at the level. And he goes, at Man in the Arena, boom. He goes, you stole the show. He goes, I don't think you realize who you became in that moment. He goes, you owned the stage. And Matt Gernetsky, he was there actually when Tim's story was telling this story. He said, you just witnessed an Ed Milet level and a speaking all-star masterclass on what Greg did at Man in the Arena. This is the guy who inspired me to speak, saying this.
So cool.
So it was so incredible, but I was able to become that person because I asked for the pressure. I prayed for the pressure, because if someone's going to give me the opportunity to stand in the gap, to stand in that A spot, to be the starting string, to bring the heat, if someone's going to give me the opportunity, then that means they trust me. That means that I've become the person I need to be. And I became that person. We took off the final percent, really had liftoff at Man in the Arena. And I have it, huge shout out to Dan Fleischman, who's my current mentor. Huge shout out to Garrett White for giving me a shot on stage when he really didn't know like who I was. He was taking everything at Dan Fleischman's word. And it was amazing because before I went on stage, because they had, somebody who was kind of, it was very emotionally charged, but the energy kind of was like in a solemn place. And then followed up by Dan, who, like, Dan's probably one of the smartest people I know. It was hyper intellectual. And so the energy was kind of down. And so before I stood on stage, Garrett put his hands on my shoulders and he goes, Greg, I'm counting on you, and I need you to bring the energy. Do that for me. I said, hold my water. The energy's coming, baby. The energy's coming, baby. So, needless to say, I brought the energy, and it was one of those game-changing moments. They put the ball in my hand. They told me to score a touchdown, and I did it.
Oh, and the 2-point conversion.
And the 2-point conversion. Somehow I kicked a field goal right after that. We showed up and we showed out. And a huge shout out to the way our community operates. I could not have done it without the way that the Gamma group, our men's group, I could not have done it without the way they showed up, because they came to not just support me, they were supporting themselves. They were going the final percent. So they were playing full out. And when I yelled, Gamma who, and they all yelled Gamma me, Gamma who, Gamma we. We scared everyone in there. And they were just like, who are these people? This is what a united front looks like. This is what having a brotherhood looks like. This is what having a community looks like. So I leveraged everything that I was doing with Gamma Group. I leveraged my relationship. So I took every single person on that stage with me, and man, they showed up. Like, that speech is not the same without Gamma Group showing up for me. So, I mean, my hat goes out to, because a lot of people see it as like, man, Greg, you're crushing it. It's not actually true. I'm playing my part right now, which is a very public part, but it is not a one-man show. I need I need help, and the way people are showing up, the way we're fighting for the souls of men, the way that we're helping people with personal growth, the way we're helping marriages, the way that we're helping people take their lives to the next level. Of course, I'm biased. I think we're the best company on planet Earth. And I'm in a place right now where it used to be where I'd get so stressed out. I'd get so stressed out and I couldn't really sleep. Now it's a place where I can't sleep because every single morning feels like Christmas morning. I have to force myself to go to bed because I'm so excited to keep living life. That's what it's about.
That's exactly what it's about. Leveraging the community is everything. And when we say leverage a community, we're not saying using people. We love people. That's what we do. We are uncommonly caring about people. So let's go to this section. Ownership. If you're going to really bear the load of leadership, you have to take ownership and you have to be willing to do the work, not just identify it, but actually do the work. Let's talk about ownership and what that law means to you.
I think ownership is simply example. So for instance, when I would preach to people, you know, I've gotten really close to Bernard here recently, so he's probably going to pop up a lot. But one of the things that he even told me, he said, the reason I didn't join the Final Percent at the beginning is because it didn't feel like because you tell people to eat healthy and stuff, but you didn't do it. And it's not that I was like super fat. Now, don't get me wrong, I end up super fat because when Kayla was going through her pregnancy, man, I helped her eat. I literally thought I had the pregnancy cravings too, for sure. So I got to own my decisions on those. But ownership is simply it being an example instead of a warning. And then when you are a warning, you raise your hand and you say, hey, guys, that was a misstep on my part. So you got to own your stuff. But the biggest thing is as I'm owning my stuff, it is making the different decisions that just most people won't do. Like, you know, I just took you, like we have a new team member, Rebecca. She came to LA to help me out because Owen couldn't come. Matt wasn't able to come. Sally wasn't able to come. So she like raised her hand, you know, I need help. I can help. She raises her hands for, I can help. So she comes in to help us with content, help us like interface with people. Cause I mean, you've seen me at events. It gets pretty crazy.
Yep.
So here's the problem is, we were like, she was texting Kayla. She said, it is astonishing how many guys come up and talk to Greg about his body. Like, guys, like, I'm not kidding. It's like it is. I think like we were halfway through our day one day and we were already well over 10. And so we're at this pool party of all places of people who want to look good. And I'm wearing this Punisher thing and everyone's like, man, I want to get like you. And oh man, how do you get a body like that? And when we're going out to dinner we literally had men waiting to order because they wanted to see what I would order. Like that's an example. That's when you know you've done something right. When you're just sitting down and they're look, I don't even want to order food until I see what he's ordering because he is setting the standard. But then here's what happens. I find out that the original Gold's Gym is in Venice. And I'm like, oh my God, well, I'm here. I got to go work out here. I've already gotten a workout for the day. But I find out about this because I'm talking to my dude, Bruce. He's part owner of Legendary Foods. He brought me some of their new donuts, which shout out Bruce, shout out Legendary Foods, and the new donuts, fire. So thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce is awesome.
Yeah, Bruce is great. So he's talking to me and he's just like, dude, you got to go experience it. It's so cool. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So then I think that people's words mean something. I make this mistake. I think that the words they're using mean something. Now, I need you guys to listen to me when I'm saying this. I'm about to piss a lot of you off because, you know, I don't really have a filter. I'm sure Brigham, before he got me on here, I'm sure it feels like he's holding a rattlesnake. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. But the moral of the story is I thought people's words mattered. So all those dudes who were saying, bro, how do I get like you? Bro, what are you eating? Bro, they're broing me. They're like bro-tato chip. You know what I mean? They're like the bro code. So me being a coach, me being a mentor, me being someone who wants to help people go to the next level, I went back to them and I said, guys, you said, how do I get a body like this? Well, we go work out and we eat better stuff. I'm going to go to the gym right now. Obviously, this pool party is not serving us. I know what you do. You've done the business that you need. You don't need to just hang out here and do this. Let's go to the gym. How many people came to the gym with me? 0. Well,
Zero?
Rebecca came. And the funny thing is, she could probably work out better than all these dudes put together because it's part of who she is.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the moral of the story. Everyone's like, how do I get a body like that? How do I do this? How do I do this? How? And I go back to telling people, you're asking the wrong questions. Everyone gets super philosophical, and it's like, find your why. Your why is so important. No, it's not actually that important. Your why is philosophical. See, out of respect for your podcast, I'm keeping the language down.
You're the man.
Philosophical BS.
There you go.
What you need to find is your what. Instead of like, why do you want to work out? Oh, I want to live longer for my kids and I want to have this. No. What are you trying to do? And this is one thing that I love telling people. Check this out. If someone tells you what to do without asking you what you're trying to do, they're just trying to sell you something. That's it.
So important.
And so here's the thing. What are you trying to do? Greg, I'm trying to get a better body. Okay, maybe stop smoking, stop drinking the alcohol, stop eating your 15th cheeseburger because they're free, and come to the gym with me. Your why is telling you, oh my God, like my why, I want to look better and I wanted this. No, okay, cool. That's why you want to do something. But what are you trying to do? You're trying to eat cheeseburger and you're trying to catch a stupid influencer pic. Like none of that's real. Newsflash, guys, it's not real. You want to know what's real? What you're trying to do. If what you're trying to do, your priorities matter. If what you're trying to do is crush the new series on Netflix that came out, well, then that's your priority. You're not going to get the better body. You're not going to build the business. You're not going to have the better marriage. What you're trying to do is watch Netflix. And for you to say yes to anything means you said no to everything else. So you got to get your priorities in straight. So if you want to be a better speaker, speak. If you want to have a better body, you got to eat new things. You got to make new decisions. You have to prioritize what matters and ask yourself, is this what, or does this action support what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to build a business. Okay, does this action support what I'm trying to do? Like this is going to be episode 133. Of course I said yes to Brigham. Of course. In the great words of Jim Rohn, of course. Yeah, we got to do that. Because I love him. He supports me. I support him. And I've seen how far he's come. And I've seen him get focused. And I've seen him start getting that laser-like approach to how he's making things happen in his life. But the thing is, like I did a live in our Facebook group two lives ago. I said, most people say, I want to be a part of Apple. Okay. Are you down to be in the garage for 5 years making no money with no guarantee? No, you're not. So stop saying that you're building Apple because you don't have the resolve or the vision to do it.
Yeah.
And then understand that you're either going to be the person who reads the history book or writes the history book. I don't want my name in lights. I want my name in the history book saying this man was the next generation of putting personal growth into the hands of everybody on planet Earth. Elon Musk did his part. He gave everyone internet. Now I got to deliver them some awesome personal growth and help them understand what can happen. What can happen? What, I just said it again, what can happen if you go the final percent on your learning, on your relationships, on your business, on your body, on your mind. What happens when you actually go the final percent? Everything will transform for you.
Absolutely. And getting in alignment, we talk about this holistic approach. It's not just, I'm going to get jacked in my body. Like you actually have to make the choices to get in consistency. And you figure out what are those choices that are the righteous rituals, the daily disciplines. Like for instance, last June is when I decided, not that I had the result, but I decided I am no longer fat. I am in fit. Yep. Like I am going to do my very best. I worked through this. I develop disciplines every single day. I get up at 5 and I exercise. Been hitting
Also, if
5
nobody
times a day.
knows this, if you are ever playing a team sport and you have the opportunity to pick Brigham, pick Brigham. He is so weirdly good at everything, and he's super athletic. Like, I'm telling you, Brigham, he is an astonishingly good athlete at all sports. It's really kind of fun to be a part of.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, we did totally crush it dodgeball. So,
bro, you were the MVP
thank
far
you.
and away.
Yeah. If you guys like to have a lot of fun, you definitely want to come to our next cruise, because
for sure, 100%.
That's something you can talk about, but you have to experience it to really understand.
Exactly right.
That's amazing.
Exactly right.
Well, let's talk about alignment, because just like a chiropractor, just like getting your wheels in alignment, if it's misaligned in different parts of your life, you're not going to be able to function well.
Yeah.
This is the purpose of the infinity model. And I think you have so many different stories. What comes top of mind for you when you're talking about the law of alignment?
The first thing that everyone, and I will not get off of this soapbox, the first thing that everyone needs to learn is there's no such thing as 100% alignment. If you think there has to be 100% alignment, you are looking for a fight. I think about the best you can get with another human being, because we're so flawed and we have different experiences, is 80%. So Kayla and I are, I think, as aligned as two humans can possibly be, and I would put us at an 80%. Now, why is it 80%? Well, she's a woman, I'm a man. There are different things that are going on. I grew up in Wyoming. She did not grow up in Wyoming. She's very feminine. I'm very masculine. There's a bunch of stuff, but the problem is because people get addicted to this idea of alignment, that they let the 20% of out of alignment mess up the 80% that is in alignment.
Right.
Now, you take you and I, for instance, we both believe in Jesus. I'm in more of a non-denominational route. You're in a Mormon route. Okay. So technically we're misaligned, but then also technically we're aligned with Jesus. So that would be like me saying, like you saying, Greg, for us to be friends, you have to be Mormon. Or me telling you, for us to be friends, you have to give up you being Mormon. Okay, cool. We just messed up an incredible relationship because we're saying you have to be something or someone that you're not. And so one of the things that Hugh Zaretsky says that I love is he says, if it is 70 to 80% of what you want, learn to say yes. People are sitting there waiting, and they're sitting all small and meek-minded, waiting for 100%, the lightning to strike, the epiphany to happen, and they're waiting for 100%, and then it never comes. And then they wake up, they're 75, they're 80, they're 85, and they're wondering, what the heck happened to my life? You waited
Too long.
Stop waiting on your life. Now, there are certain things that when they're out of alignment, they're just out of alignment. So, like, I talk about this a lot. If someone says, hey, Greg, me and the boys are going to a strip club, that there's literally like, there's nothing that gets me inside of a strip club. Like nothing. So it's so far out of alignment for me. There are certain hard stops. You know, right now, I don't really drink. And it's not that I don't drink. It's just like and to be full disclosure, I tried to drink in LA this last thing. There's this espresso martini. I had one on the cruise ship. It was so good. And I was like, oh, I want one of those again. Well, this one did not taste like the one on the cruise ship. So I had like 2 sips. I sent it back. And I said, can I just swap it out for an old fashioned? I really like old fashions. And then even then I had 2 sips and I was like, I don't really drink. Now, maybe if I'm out for a date night with my wife, do we each have a glass of wine? Maybe. But even then, like right now, we're not really drinking. So it's a little out of alignment for me, but it's not that I'm not going to be around the social circles. However, if someone comes to me and says, take this shot or we're not friends, well, I guess we're not friends because I don't do shots. And I actually haven't done shots since I was 30 because I read this article about how, you know, culturally in the Japanese, shots are supposed to signify something that actually matters. Like you made $1 million in a day, or your daughter got married, or the birth of a child, like something monumentous. And then even then you do one.
Yeah.
So these like college guys who are like, bro, like I can take 33 shots. It's like, dude, alcohol poisoning is a real thing. This is a bad idea. Don't do that. So that things like that are so out of alignment for me. If anyone ever tried to get me to do drugs, it's so far out of alignment. It's a hard no.
Yep.
So you have to learn your boundaries, which I think is really important. So one thing that I have said for a long time is my boundaries do not require your participation. And that's just how it is. My boundaries do not require your participation. Now, if you are able to communicate your boundaries, you're able to understand your values. Now, just as important, you're able to understand and convey your value. Then when you find people who see your value, see your values, respect your presence, and people you can respect, this is what we call alignment. When you find those, hang on to them like they are worth their weight in gold, because I'm telling you, right, if for all my young people out there, you think that that's normal because you've drunk enough to where everything just becomes in alignment, I promise you it's not reality. When you find those, if you're like over 25, if you're over 30 and you start finding these things, you grab on and you hang on, because it is so much more rare than you realize when you find true alignment with people. And then when you have alignment, you go back to the first letter, leverage. When you have alignment, you have leverage. And now all of a sudden, because if Brigham and I are doing something together, it's not additive. When you have true, real alignment, you have an exponential catalyst and chemistry project that happens to where 1 + 1 starts equaling 33 million. That's what happens when you have the right alignment with the right community, with the right values, going in a singular focused direction that takes ownership of their actions.
Bars. What he says is so good. Alignment, man. I feel like whenever we get in alignment, this is another way to say we're in flow.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very efficient.
It's so efficient. And if we are out of alignment in whatever element of life that is, most of the time I've noticed in people, it's in their personal life. Even though they say it's in their business, it's almost always in the personal life.
Yeah.
When we get all of those things jiving together, I love that word. That's fun. 90s word, jiving together.
For sure. I like it.
Everything starts to gel. So let's go to this next one, distribution. Now, when we're talking about weight, I want to paint this picture for everybody. When we're at the Gamma retreats, we have literal weighted vests. This is not like something that we just do for a moment, for a picture. It's literally the whole time we're there, we have these weighted vests.
Yeah.
And this was the premise of this episode, is when you have leadership, you have extra weight, a load you have to bear. Let's talk about how you distribute weight, because if you only do it yourself, you're not technically a leader.
No.
It's when you say, you know what, I'm going to let you carry the vest for a time, and we pass that weight and we distribute it. So let's talk about weight distribution and why that's so essential in loaded leadership.
So
sorry if that's a loaded question. It's like
no, it's a great question. And here's the reality of it. Most people, so I had a nickname when I was in college, my nickname was Yoda. I always have a little like Yoda around me. I've got a bunch of Yoda figurines and different things like that. I used to wonder if Owen must have moved it. I usually have like a little silver Yoda. Oh no, it's right here. So I got this little silver Yoda that Drew Dugan gave me. It's literally a little Yoda Lego that is cast in silver. So I always have it with me because it means so much. That little token just means so much. So my nickname in college was Yoda because I was always giving out advice. Now, my nickname in high school when I really got into fitness was the Punisher. And it was funny because, I was the guy who, when we'd go into practice and they'd say, you run through the gauntlet and everyone's going to hit you. I was the dude who was like, oh, these 20 people are going to try to hurt me. Every person who tries to put one on me, I am going to hit you so hard that you are going to try to get out of my way, even though there's 20 of you. And then if I'm training someone, people will say things like, God, you're punishing me. Like, what did I do to you? But then they start looking about what they look like. They start realizing who they can become. And they start realizing, and also it didn't make me sad, because my favorite superhero has always been the Punisher. So I'm like, I'll adopt this. Let's go.
Oh, nice.
But here's the thing. When a leader asks you to do something, it doesn't matter what it is. Go pick up the trash from the parking lot. You say, yes, I got you. Because they're trusting you with something that they need done. So when a leader takes off part of the weighted vest and puts it on you, bestows it on you, they are not punishing you, they're trusting you. They are seeing, can this person hold the load? Can I trust you in the foxhole? Can I trust you when times get tough? And the problem is most people, when you try to push them, especially in today, we're soft in today's day and age. When the leader tries to, hey, give me one more rep. Hey, give me one more hour. Hey, come on this trip with me. Hey, come build this until 3:00 in the morning. Hey, let's shoot this course. Whatever it is, when the leader asks for your help, they're saying, can you bear some of this weight with me because I need help? And if you say, it's been really tough. I'm tired. This is hard. I'm exhausted. I'm over. I'm this. What you just said is, I right now, your weight is too heavy for me. So the leader, whether they know this or not, the leader subconsciously knows, I cannot trust you with the cross that I bear. And so what we need to do is we've got to find those people that raise their hand. Like I always say, we have two hands for a reason. One that says, I can help, and one that says, I need help. So when the leader says, I need help, you got to find those people that say, I can help. And then how do they carry the load? Do they do it with a good attitude? That's right. I'll tell you, one of the best leaders and subordinates that I know is Chris. He's second in command at Gamma Group. And there's been multiple times where he and I are at odds on what needs to happen. And I'll say, look, we're not doing this. We're going to go in this direction. Now, most people sit here and they go, oh, you're not listening to me. I don't feel seen. You're not hugging me while you're telling, it's not like we're not here for a therapy project. He says he respects my leadership. Look, I'm number one for a reason. He respects my leadership. And he goes and does whatever I asked him to do to the best of his ability with the best attitude that he possibly can give. Most people will do it with a great attitude, but they don't do it to the best of their ability. Or they do it to the best of their ability with a crap attitude. Or actually, what's more common is not to the best of their ability and bitching the whole way. Like, come on, guys. If you can default to trusting the leadership to where the leader knows, look, I know you've got my back. I know you see the vision. I know that you're strong enough to bear this cross that we have to bear. You got my back. Now you are someone that I can distribute time, attention, money, management, leadership, decision-making. I can give you some of that. So then what we do is then we just go build another person, because real leaders make more leaders. They don't make followers. I don't want followers. I want other men to lock arms with, and we're going to go change the world. This is the biggest thing that we need to do. So we have to have a great attitude, even when we don't understand what's happening. Now, I'm not saying like college, like frat house hazing. There's no time or place. There's that never. Yeah. That kind of leadership is obnoxious and dangerous. So like a real number two, if I told Chris, hey, go make out with Anthony, I hope both of those people come and punch me in the face, because that's bad leadership. A real leader never demeans somebody. You cannot lead through shame. And blind following is terrible. You should be able to raise your hand and say, hey, leader, help me understand why this is a good idea. So you don't have to be blind when you're doing it. You just have to respect the process and be in a structure to where communication. Anthony just put the crying face emojis. My guess is they don't want to make out.
Yeah, probably not. No.
But the thing is, you should be able to ask questions. But then also, if you're asking so many questions that it's just questioning the leadership, you're going to get asked to leave because you're making things less efficient. So there's this balance that we have to go through. And this is why you need more leaders, not less leaders, because usually when too many questions are happening, that means there's a bottleneck somewhere. And if Brigham's a leader and Anthony's a leader and Sam's a leader and Steven's a leader and I'm a leader, not everyone's waiting for Greg to move. They can just go say, hey, Brigham, what do I do in this situation? Hey, when I was at the last event, this is what we did. If we can't get guidance from Greg and we have to make a decision, let's just do what the precedent says that we need to do. So when we have more leadership so that we're all working together, and I think this is why Gamma Group is such a special thing, because we also have the Kappa Club, which is under a similar umbrella with similar values, so that the women have a place to go with the men, instead of all the women going, oh my God, that looks so fun. Then they just go find a different organization. And then there's there's this separation, and they're always on different schedules. What makes us special is Kappa is talking to Gamma all the time so that the men and women can always participate. And that's the other thing that I'll say is we're never looking for contribution, because that feels like a transaction. What you're always looking for is participation. Do you participate in the process? A lot of people will join the Infinity Club, which is our top end club, and then they won't participate. And then they'll have the audacity to go, that doesn't work. No, you don't work. That's like you buying a book, like Good to Great. You don't read the book, and then you say the book was crap. But, did you read it? No. Well, how do you know it's crap? I don't know. I haven't read it. What is happening? This is America. You got to do the work. You got to participate, and you have got to be able to be held accountable. If you're able to be held accountable and you're moving forward and you're taking yourself to I don't know, maybe if you're leveling up, shameless plug. If you're leveling up and you're constantly leveling up, I can hang out with you. I don't actually care about money. I care about, are you moving forward? And this is why I don't believe in the singular, this is the only way to be successful. I don't believe in the tribalistic mentality. I think that people who are trying to buy their first house and their third jet, I think those people can hang out. I think those people have things to learn from each other. And we need to be able to coexist. We need to be able to ask questions. We need to be able to have fun. I mean, that's the real thing. If tomorrow's not promised, let's have some fun today. So never, ever, ever allow fun to exit your life. Seek the fun.
Beautiful.
Make America fun again.
The best F word that we can have on the show. Thank you so much.
Yes. I would like to take this moment to announce my candidacy for president of the United States. No, I'm just kidding. Make America fun again.
Make America fun again. That's so beautiful. Now, I've got a little summary of everything that we talked about here in this quote. This was something that I'm really passionate about. Load-bearing leaders don't carry everything. They carry what counts. They leverage strength, take full ownership, live in alignment, and distribute the weight to empower others. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love it. And if you look at that's everything we talked about. So distribute, go create more leaders. Real leaders create more leaders. If you mess up, take ownership, leverage the strength that they have, and then carry. The thing is if whether it's you or Chris or whatever, if one of you guys messes up, I'm going to be the person who takes it away from you, and I will retake ownership until I can find somebody I can give it to that I can trust. Now, I've never had to do that with you or Chris, but just as an illustrative purpose to say, leaders also, after they give away ownership to something, if that person cannot bear that cross, you also have to be strong enough to go take it back. And that's where it's really tough, because when a leader has to lead and he goes and says, look, you are not hitting the marks. You are not ready. I got to take this back from you. It can hurt relationships. And people are so scared of hurting relationships, they'll destroy their business and they'll destroy the investments of others, all because they're scared to take ownership back from someone who wasn't ready.
Hmm.
And that's real leadership. When you know what has to be done, whatever it is, do you do the work? Do you have the conversation? And I often say, like, look, you've got to go there. And if you're willing to go there, then you actually have to be there. So if you want to be a leader, go there. But when it comes time to lead, are you actually going to be there? It's one thing to call yourself a leader. It is a way different thing to actually lead.
So true. One of the books you told me to read this last year was one by Robin Sharma. He talked about a leader does not need to have a title. Even on the way that you show up, you don't have to have the title. People just know you're a leader because of your example, the weight that you bear.
If you go to the Final Percent right now and look at my title, it says head intern.
Head intern. That was actually
if I walk in, everyone knows who the boss is. Like, everyone knows who's the leader. I don't have to tell you. I don't tell anybody that I'm the CEO, the founder, the anything. I say I'm Greg. I'm with the Final Percent, just like anybody else. And when they go to the website, why does it say the head intern? Well, that's my favorite title to say, because titles are stupid. You are going to know by my actions and my energy who I am, and that's all you need to know. There's no title that is going to make it cooler. The only reason that titles really matter, and this is why we do this in Gamma, is real leadership. The only reason that you should have a title is so that people can clearly know where they can receive help from. So a title is like a little beacon saying, this is all the things I can help with. This is all the things I can help with. That's it. So if you have a title, that is so that people can clearly say, that's where I get help from. And so that's why we do have the hierarchical structure in Gamma Group, but it's not to give people this sense of status. It's to help all the new people onboard properly so that they can move through and they can get empowered more effectively and more efficiently, so that we can, they immediately can know, where can I get help?
Beautiful. Now, since we have Gamma Group coming up so soon, this brotherhood event, will you please tell people why they have to choose to come here? It's
honestly, it's such a transformative experience. This one is going to be probably it's going to be our best one. I'm just going to say it because it's where I grew up. So I'm kind of pulling out all the stops to make it special. It's going to be our biggest one. We're going to be camping on my parents' property where I grew up. My mom is working incredibly hard to get the property ready so that we have a great place to really transform lives and become brothers. And that's the biggest thing. People don't understand how much they need a brotherhood until they experience it. And the things that we're going to do up in the mountains of Wyoming, and the things that we are going to get across the finish line inside of your soul, inside of your mind, inside of your business, is second to none. But most importantly, you're going to leave the Gamma event with a bunch of people who have your back, with a bunch of people who want to see you win. And you are finally going to understand what it means to have a sense of belonging instead of constantly trying to fit in. Every other group that people have gone to, they're trying to fit in and they're trying to change who they are so that they can make these maneuvers and they can have this status that the world is cramming down your throat. I don't want you to change. I want you to discover. I want you to explore. And I want you to see a bunch of your brothers that you can finally know down into the core of your being and your existence. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you win. And when you have a problem, you have a bunch of people raising their hand saying, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? I've got your back. And when you've got 40, 50, 60, 70 brothers standing behind your back, you can finally, for the first time in your life, not look over your shoulder. And you can keep your head pointed in the right direction, and you can go forward because you know you've got people that have your back for the right reasons. And that's what it's all about. And Gamma is second to none.
So good. And that's why I also I'm going to be there. I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
Wyoming, guys, it's not something that you can explain away. You have to experience it.
Yep.
It's like trying to talk to someone that's never had salt. They're like, well, it's salty. You're like, it's gamma-y, if that's a thing. There's no way to.
So good. I love it. I love it.
So if you guys are on the fence, just get off the fence and choose to come.
Just do it.
If you don't like doing hard things, if you don't like people that are serious about personal development, don't come for sure. We are serious
we
about.
will or come because you need a wake up call. But I'll make this to anybody who's, if you're on the fence, if you come, you buy a ticket, you come, you play full out, and you're there the whole time, and you don't think it is worth your investment, I'll give you double your money back. That's how certain I am. So the best thing that happens is you get a bunch of best friends, and you're going to change the trajectory of your entire family's course of existence for generations. The worst thing that happens is you double your money. So I'll let you do with that what you want, but I said it, it's recorded. So if you're interested, come check us out, because we are committed to changing lives and making an impact that people didn't even know was possible in their lives. And we need you to be a part of it. Get out of the stands and get into the arena. You got a bunch of brothers. The arena is safe. Let's go kick some ass together.
Absolutely. And check this out. Sam, he's like, no, man, we don't just like hard things. We got to go do the hard things.
Yeah.
So,
if you don't like hard things, go do hard things.
Yes.
This like, I promise you, there's nothing like it when you're done, like getting it across the finish line, and you can just feel that sense of pride, especially because none of the things that we do, you're capable of doing by yourself. So you're going to have to do it as a team. You're going to have to do it within your teamwork. There's just something about accomplishing things with a team that is second to none. So I encourage you to come participate and see what's possible for your life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Greg. Guys, go to the final percent.
Absolute pleasure.
What a pleasure to have you on today. And if you are in any of the cities where the Man in the Arena is happening, you definitely want to come support Greg, because the best speaker on that stage, absolutely phenomenal, lit it on fire. You heard earlier, someone said napalm. That was legit.
Yeah,
the
there it is.
It's still on fire. Said it. It was still on fire.
Yeah, it's still on fire. So, but yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, go to thefinalpercent.com if you want to see what we're up to. And then if you're on Instagram, follow me at just Greg Kimble, GregKimble. Come check us out. Come to one of the events. The rocket ship is taking off, and we want to get as many people on this rocket ship as we possibly can, because we're going to go on quite the journey together.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, guys. Keep leveling up your life. Go check out Dr. Greg Kimble. He is the man. And we want to go the final percent. I love you more. See you guys.
Yeah, and you ended with me. All right, I accept. I love it.